Let's continue our discussion about housekeeping fields and talk about how to get them in here more efficiently. You're going to create a lot of databases and a lot of tables over your FileMaker career, and the more efficiently you can work and with less mistakes, the better off you're going to be. So FileMaker Advanced allows you to copy and paste fields from one file to another, and that's what we're going to show you how to do. Now again, if you don't have FileMaker Advanced, we're going to show you all the details about the fields we're copying and pasting so you can create them from scratch. But before we do that, let's go back into Manage Database. And I will just want to prove that that field, or those two fields, date create and date mod, are indeed gone. When you hit cancel and then choose discard from the resulting dialog, it really does get rid of everything. You can't undo it. Now if we hit cancel now, we're not going to get a dialog because we didn't make any changes. So let's go to File menu and choose Open. And I happen to have a file called Template. I'm going to open that. And this has my timestamp create, which is a date followed by a space with the time, and my timestamp mod. So these are the same as the date create and the date mod, just timestamp versions, because you get more detailed information. And then we also have the account create and account mod. So these four fields are in this template database. Now let's talk a little bit about the account. We haven't done any security related work yet, but FileMaker, when you first create a database, automatically creates some security for you. So that's why we can automatically auto-enter the admin account, because that's the only account we have right now. So don't worry about it too much. It will come in handy later on when we cover security, so you know what's going to actually get entered into the account fields. But what we want to do here is go into Manage Database. We want to click on the first field, then hold down the Shift key and click on the last one. Select them all. We'll copy. We'll click OK. Now we're going to go back into our contacts database, go into Manage Database, and now all we have to do is paste. And those four fields are there now. Again, much faster, and there's no chance of making a mistake. Now we're going to go into each one of these so you can see the options. So here's the timestamp create, create the timestamp, prohibit modification. Here's the timestamp modification and prohibit modification. Then account create. Now here we've done creation account name. This is different than name. Name is a value that comes from your system software. It's what the name is of your computer. Whenever it asks you, hey, do you want to do this, or refers you to by the name in your system software, FileMaker grabs this and puts this into FileMaker. And you can have it automatically entered. And what this does is it tracks the machine but not the person. In my opinion, the account name is better, because if you sign an account and password to everybody who's using your system, they'll have to log in, no matter whether they're at home or on another employee's computer. You will have that person and what they're doing rather than just the computer they're working on. So again, account name I think is much better, and that's why we're using it here. And also prohibit. And then same thing with account mod. Has modification account name and prohibit modification. So that gets you the housekeeping fields very quickly and efficiently with no mistakes. So let's go into tables, and if you have FileMaker Advanced, you also have this import option. This is another way to get it in here. We'll click import, and before we choose template, notice that we have this import log here. Every time you do something with FileMaker Advanced, like copying and pasting or importing data, it's going to go ahead and put the details of what happened in this log. So it's a little text file you can open up in a text editor and take a look at that data. So if you're surprised why that's there, don't worry about it. And if you don't throw it away, FileMaker will keep adding all of your copies and pastes and anything you do into the same import. But if you throw it away or move it, it's going to make another one. So just get used to it. I just usually leave it there. And it could be helpful. I have never used it myself before, but it could have helpful information about tracing back what you did. And so we're going to choose template as what we want to import. We'll choose open. It'll give us a list of all the tables inside the template. There's only one. We'll click OK. It'll give us a summary. We could open the log file if you want, just like we just talked about. All we care about, though, is that there are no errors. And when we get it in here, you'll see that we have 4 fields, 0 records. And if we go over to the field section, we'll see those fields are in there. And this is how you change between the two tables we have right here. So it's showing us the template right now. And so the idea behind this is you have no tables, or you want to add a new table, import the template, and then change the name. Call it My Table. And then click Change. That's the idea. And then you go into the field section and add any additional fields you needed for that table. But this quickly gets you started with your housekeeping fields. Now we don't really want this, so I'm going to delete it. And we also want to remove the occurrences from the graph. That's because the table is going to be gone, the graph should be also gone. And we don't know much about table occurrences inside the relationship graph, so don't worry about it right now. But usually you want to check this. But as we learn more, you'll know more about what this dialog means. There we go. So now we're back to what we had. We still have our housekeeping fields, and hopefully you understand the importance of these fields. They are quite important for tracking what's happening to your records.